How do you know you're really alive? People who aren't really alive cling to life the most. They say nothing is more sacred than human life, but look what they're doing to it. They call you a consumer because you consume and because you are being consumed. They stress that you're the subject of consumption, but to be honest, it matters more that you be the object of it. But let's get back to the question, how do you know you're really alive? In your imagination, take a walk through your life, through all the rooms, your job, your friends, your family. Walk in your head, in your heart, in your guts. What do you notice? What do you feel? Would you change anything? Okay, so how do you know you're really alive? So let's say you find out you only have 6 more months to live. You're really alive if you wouldn't change anything. I observe the fear of pandemic. I observe the outrage over the prices rising. I watch people complaining about the clownish politicians faking how much they care for the environment. Worrying doesn't help. Everything is going to hell, but everything is okay. Why would I release my sacred emotions into this tiny, shiny frame that surrounds me and enwraps my gaze and stops me from seeing both the expanse out there and in here? There is truth, there is freedom there, not in this flea circus. Are you really afraid of the lockdown? Are you afraid of prison bars? The one who is free cannot be shackled. For such a person, there's freedom even behind bars. Why are you putting your conscience in this glittering box? Solve this imprisonment first. Then you will be able, fully alive, to cope with the coercion of the guardians of life. You will not cling to anything. You have nothing to lose. As long as you are a slave to the chain of your own decisions, you are powerless. As long as you are a slave to the unrest and your unquenchable desires, you're a slave to your first decisions and the chain of consequences that followed. It's that first cigarette, that first glass, that first kiss. It's that first slap, that first note, that toy, that book, that job. It's that broken promise, and especially all that guilt that robs you of power. Now you are where you are. You are looking for answers on the screen. Well, they're not there. You want the screen to tell you what's your purpose. There is no purpose. The universe exists for far greater magic than a purpose. Would you like to understand what is really going on? Are they really pulling your leg? Are the elites just fooling around with you, drinking your blood? Will they break your chain of freedoms that you're so addicted to? Without them, you'd go crazy. Come on. It's not that bad. You're just spoiled. Do you really think the world owes you anything? Do you think that you have too little? and that you need more for a decent life? What a pity to deprive yourself of the luxuries of every moment just because the next one might bring something more, or the next, again and again. You're escaping into tomorrow, into yesterday, but happiness is here and now. You're missing out on the adventure of a lifetime, a glorious flight through the eternity because you resent some promise breaker, or a freedom breaker, or a heartbreaker. Why are you angry at government? Are we really so naive as to expect anything better from them? Why are you so bitter and arrogant? Why do you imprison yourself with resentment and despair? What a pity to waste your life like that. You can caress a leaf, inhale a cloud, take in a poem, and share your happiness with someone. You can always click the button and change the channel. Or better yet, turn off the screen. In Slovenian, we have a saying, take in life with a full spoon. Don't imitate the life out there lived by others. Don't take it in with a spoon from the latest commercial. What if you take it with your both palms as you would water from a spring? Take in exactly that life that stands in front of your nose. Don't stare at it through the screen. Get up, go to the edge of the forest and sit under a tree. Stay still for an hour or two. You have never seen such a fantastic movie. Oh, do you prefer a serious maybe? Well, then come to the same tree every day for an hour. Just sit back and watch. How much is going on inside you and outside too? If you do it 10 times, you will be drawn to come back to see how that snail progresses up on that branch, that bird weaving the nest, that anthill growing at the roots, that bud opening. When you realize happiness is so easily available and how little you need for it, when you notice how miserable the prescribed life is, then you will let go of that tension in your chest. Relax and exhale. You will wait, and the breath will happen on its own. And then you will exhale, pause, and inhale again by itself. That's how real life flows, by itself. No coercion, no fight. Your heartbeat is calm in your chest. You listen to it. You breathe. Your heart is at peace. Happiness. Then you remember the pandemic, the measures, vaccinations, tests, and all those who think differently than you. You argue with them in your own head and rush to bombard them on social media. It is infinitely important for you to be right and to get others to agree with you. You insult the fools who think differently. It is a special kind of pleasure to identify with a story in a book, in a theater, in a movie, and in the real life as well. But jumping into the circus arena as soon as you hear the whip is simply too much. Let the clowns and acrobats play their stunts. You don't have to hang out with them in the arena. There is so much of it, the marvelous life out there. Why would you stay in the circus waving a flag and shouting out the names of your favorite star in this masquerade? You can always exclude your heart and your gut from this circus. You can live an empowering life, modest and happy. You can live in community with others, attuned to each moment. There will be a bit of the day, a bit of the night, a bit of warmth, a bit of cold. some angels around you and some devils. That's how the mighty cosmic game goes. You're standing in the ocean of magic, but you're obsessed with catching droplets of excitement with the eye that's not even your own, the eye of the camera. You're obsessed with these thrills. You record them to revisit them later, in periods when they're not there. You will bring them to the attention of others as a proof that they really happened. You construct your life from 1,000 thrills. Meanwhile, millions of silent hours go by unnoticed. Practically all your life offers you the opportunity to meet yourself, build friendship with yourself, enjoy your own inner beauty and the silent beauty of the world. Why are you limiting yourself to a few moments of noise? Memories should be carved out as monuments, as milestones on your journey of life. They should be stored carefully and conscientiously in the very special archive that gets unlocked by heart's warmth. Do not miss out on what's offered to you in moments of apparent emptiness. That's when you're given a chance to realize you're swimming in peace all the time. But you prefer to cling to cannons and tanks and then grumble because they don't afford you peace. Dushko Radovic said it so nicely. Today will be the happiest day in someone's life. If we knew whose life, we could tell them, so it wouldn't be the same with them as it was with us, that we had no clue.